Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 2nd of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly what both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are really going to do moving forward. This is Mike Zeroh. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are trying their absolute best in order to create a library's worth of Star Wars material. Of course, we've seen a prime example of this with Disney Plus, because we do know that they have over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects in the early development phase. You know, for starters, we got The Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano TV series, and we've got more TV shows coming into play here for Disney Plus. And let's not forget about the new Star Wars trilogy of films and other movies that they also have in mind. So the actual universe seems to be very expansive, and I think that they really are ambitious at this point because of the desperation they really are in and how they're really trying to regain a lot of the lost fans from the sequel trilogy movies. Now, with that being said, of course, a lot of fans have been against Kathleen Kennedy over the years, myself included. I think it really all started with The Last Jedi, where we saw that movie and it went against everything that we expected, everything that should have been of what, Rian Johnson established in the Star Wars canon lore here, and how Luke Skywalker was essentially changed up quite dramatically, right? So, ever since The Last Jedi, we've seen this decline. Now, what's really intriguing, of course, is that since Kathleen Kennedy lost her creative power over at Lucasfilm, fans have been more hopeful about the future of Star Wars moving forward with Disney Plus and even the new films that are currently in development. Now, it's explained that many creatives over at Lucasfilm have been promoted by Disney's Bob Chapek and Bob Iger in order to create authentic Star Wars stories for the future of Star Wars. However, it's noted that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy is already planning to leave Lucasfilm and Star Wars entirely, and that she is getting ready to make those plans public sometime during the fall of this year of 2020 that will go into full effect sometime in 2021. Now, for years, fans have been upset with Kennedy's direction of the Star Wars franchise and how it was handled, and that how things are starting to shape up. Bob Chapek is said to have multiple candidates already to take over Kathleen Kennedy, one of which is said to be Jon Favreau, who created Star Wars The Mandalorian, and even started the entire MCU with Iron Man 1 back in 2008. Now, Kennedy has been very frustrated lately since she lost her creative freedom, which could also play a role into why Kennedy may want to leave very soon from Star Wars entirely. Now, currently, the only project that Kathleen Kennedy has control over is the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series that is currently in production, and the scripts are currently being written by Leslie Headland. Now, the plan by Kennedy is to work closely with Headland for her final project before she leaves Lucasfilm. Bob Chapek and Iger have always been against Kennedy's decision to hire Leslie Headland since she was once the personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, and that Disney is not thrilled with that image being seen from the Star Wars fandom. Kathleen Kennedy and her impact on the High Republic is also being reset by the creatives over at Lucasfilm by Bob Chapek's orders to change things up dramatically, which played a major role in, of course, into why the High Republic lore material was delayed for some time. Now, essentially, all of Kathleen Kennedy's creative material for future projects are being cancelled or restructured in order to ensure that the Star Wars franchise can live on properly and become more successful than ever before for the Star Wars community. Now, though Kathleen Kennedy still has control over that one TV show by Leslie Headland, fans are on edge to see exactly what this series will look like on Disney Plus once it releases sometime in 2022 or 2023 for fans to witness what Kathleen Kennedy has done that may cause a big backlash from fans. Now, Chapek is actually said to be aware of the risk, and it's the reason why he allowed George Lucas to make some adjustments to Kennedy's stance on the new TV series for Disney Plus. So, here's the thing about Kathleen Kennedy, alright? Now, we've seen a prime example of how she really doesn't understand Star Wars with what she did with The Rise of Skywalker. I think nobody's really going to forget that. She's the main reason as to why we had two different phases of reshoots. One back in 2018, specifically the very end of that year, and another of which in the middle of 2019, which was the second phase of reshoots. Now, the big problem with that is that we were gonna get, I guess you could say, a more truthful or more authentic Star Wars movie before Kathleen Kennedy intervened and really canceled all the concepts by JJ, George, and Chris, and that really played a major role into why Episode 9 felt so convoluted at times, so very rushed, especially in the beginning, I must add. There was something about the structure of the movie that just felt out of place, and that was definitely the reason why. So, not just that, it was also The Last Jedi, right? It was also some of her other creative choices that we've seen, such as her canceling the 10 Star Wars movies that she had planned, and how she also created the hiatus. A lot of fans weren't all too thrilled about that as well. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.